I know it's been a really long time, so I'm sorry, but here we go. Chapter 15, Out of Ridgemont and Into the Fire. On Saturday afternoon, Nolan sends me a text. No words, just a picture of a wrinkled old article he found among his grandfather's papers. I'm not able to make out much more than the headline. Local professor promises proof. Ghosts are real. Immediately I write back, let's go find him. After school, a few days later, I'm sitting beside Nolan in his enormous beat-up navy blue Chrysler. Belonged to my grandfather, he says proudly, pushing up the sleeves of his leather jacket. Your grandmother just let you have it? He shakes his head. Nah, Gramps gave it to me when he was still alive. My parents took away his license right around the time I got mine. From the sound of Nolan's voice, I guess that his grandfather didn't exactly give up his license willingly. I try to imagine the confrontation. Can't let a crazy old man who believes in ghosts behind the wheel. I wonder at what age Nolan's grandfather's belief in the paranormal stopped being something his friends and family called just an odd sort of character quirk and started being dismissed as the ramblings of a nutty old man. What was your grandfather's name? I asked gently. Why? I don't know. I feel like he brought us together. Oh my goodness, brought us together? What am I saying? We're not together. Not together anyway. I just mean, I feel like I have him to thank for the fact that you believed me that day in the library. So it feels like I should know his name, that's all. Nolan nods thoughtfully. His name was Nolan, actually. I was named after him. Well, thank you, Nolan, I say softly, and the words heavy with meaning. I can't imagine an outing more different than the ones Ashley must take in Corey Cooper's convertible. Ashley texted me a selfie she took this morning, the two of them in his car, both wearing sunglasses to shield their eyes even though it's November, on their way to a music festival in downtown Austin. I wrote back, looks like fun. Now I try to imagine how she'd react if I sent her a picture of Nolan and me in his car this morning, heading not to a festival but to a university I've never heard of a couple towns away, where the professor from the article runs the paranormal studies department. She definitely wouldn't write back that it looked like fun. After a mile or two of silence, Nolan says, You know, if you were here, he'd thank you. Me? I squeal. What for? For dragging his beloved grandson into my mess? Nolan cocks his head to the side, considering. Pretty much, he says finally, and we both burst out laughing. So, did he deliver on his promise? Did who deliver on what promise? This professor. I dig the article Nolan found out of the glove compartment. Professor Abner Jones promises proof of his paranormal, I read. Think he ever produced said proof? Nolan grins. You feel like you need more evidence? Not for me, I answer quickly. I mean for everybody else. I think we probably would have heard of it if he did. I mean, it'd have been national news story, not just an article in a local paper that I found stuffed in my grandpa's desk, right? I nod. Right. I figure the article. It was published in 1987, before Nolan and I were born. But it mentions the location of the professor's office on campus, Levis Hall. Nolan tries to find his email address on the university website, but he didn't have any luck. Still, he found a description of one of his classes, along with a listing of his office hours. Wednesdays, from 2 to 5. Did your grandfather ever meet him, do you think? Nolan shrugs. I don't know. Guess I'll have to add that to our list of questions. I nod. It's not all that long of a list. It's really just one question. Can you help us? I close my eyes and imagine a bespectacled, gray-haired, intellectual type saying, Of course I can, easy as pie. Okay, maybe he won't exactly say that, but we're about to gain some clarity on everything that's happening. I'm sure of it. That's what experts are for, right? It's my first time leaving Ridgemont since we moved here, and I actually hold my breath as we cross the county line. I wait for the creepy cold feeling that has saturated my life since moving here. Well, not cold right now since Nolan is close by, but still creepy to subside. It doesn't. I stare out the window. You worried about your mom? Nolan asks. I shake my head. It's not that, actually. I mean, not right now. Mom is safely at work. She was gone before I woke up this morning and even left me a note saying that she wouldn't be home in time to feed Oscar and Lex their dinner, so I was in charge. Nolan and I have plenty of time. What is it then? I'm just so sick of this creepy feeling. You've lived here your whole life. Do you ever get used to it? Used to what? That Ridgemont feeling. Ever since we moved here, nothing feels right. Everything I touch is cold, my hands are always clammy, and the air feels thin and wet. so that taking a deep breath actually aches. Ridgemont doesn't feel like that for me, Nolan shrugs. I mean, the ghost stuff is creepy and all, but the rest of my life is pretty normal. Oh, I answer surprised. Even inside my house. You didn't feel like the minute you stepped inside the temperature dropped about 20 degrees? He shakes his head. Maybe those are extra bonus feelings the ghost is saving just for me. Or maybe I can feel something that other people can't. I shake my head. That's just crazy talk. We wander around the campus for what feels like hours, but we can't find Levis Hall. The college is ringed with towering Douglas firs, just like the streets back in Ridgemont. But unlike my neighborhood, the campus is actually landscaped, so there are some wide open spaces, free of trees, where the meager sun actually, it's not so meager now that we're out of Ridgemont, can get through the clouds. For the first time since we moved to Washington, I actually have a reason to dig around in my purse and pull out my electric blue sunglasses. Students are sitting out on the lawns in front of their dorms, like they think they might be able to get a tan despite the fact that it's November and about 40 degrees outside. A group of boys are tossing around a frisbee while some girls cheer them on from the sidelines, which looks like a lot less fun than actually playing, if you ask me. Nolan stops and asks one of the girls for direction to Levis Hall. I'm not standing close enough to hear their exchange, but I can tell from the way the girl looks. I can tell from the look on the girl's face that she wonders why we'd bother heading over to that part of the campus. Or maybe, I realize as Nolan pushes his dirty blonde hair off his forehead, it's just that she thinks Nolan is cute. Jealousy makes butterflies in my stomach. Unlike me, she's dressed in normal clothes. Non-vintage jeans with a university t-shirt, black sunglasses instead of blue. Her hair is long and straight, hanging flatly past her shoulders, nothing like my frisball. I wriggle my toes inside my Chuck Taylors and pull the sleeves of my oversized sweater over my wrists, forcing myself to look away, pretending to be fascinated by the frisbee competition, pretending I don't notice the second Nolan turns from her and back toward me. It's all the way on the other side of campus, he says. We get back into his car and leave the girls in the frisbee game behind. When we finally pull into Levis Hall's cracked parking lot, Nolan's is the only car there. When I open my door, I notice that it looks almost like the asphalt beneath my feet is tread upon so rarely that it's covered not only in fallen leaves, but also in a layer of dust. Are you sure this is the right place? Nolan nods, pointing to a sign outside the enormous red brick building across the parking lot. Levis Hall, he reads. That's where his office is. I get out of the car and shut my door behind me, eyeing the building in front of us. I can't see a single light coming from any of its windows. It's like a ghost town over here, I say. Pun intended? Nolan asks. Pluh, pun most definitely not intended. Apparently Levis Hall's elevator is out of order, so we climb the stairs. The floor beneath our feet is marble, so our footsteps echo, and the banister is smooth, dark wood, cool beneath my fingers. We don't see a single other person, and the fluorescent lights that illuminate the hallway are dim, making everything look abandoned and sad. I guess he's not the most popular professor? I whisper. When we reach the 4th floor, we're no longer walking on marble, but linoleum, dark green and dust-covered enough to make me sneeze. I don't think this professor has had anything resembling a line of students waiting for his office hours for a long, long time, Nolan says in agreement. If ever, I add. By the time we knock on the professor's door, room 4B04, I'm shivering. Even standing next to Nolan isn't enough to warm me in this cold. It must be below freezing in here, I complain, my teeth chattering. Then I remember that Nolan doesn't feel it. From the other side of the door, someone shouts, "Come in." All right. Chapter 16 coming soon, I promise. I'm having literal camera difficulties. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about that. So this is all being filmed on my phone, and for a brief time, the editing wasn't working. Seriously, it's been a cluster. So, yes. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. Sorry it's been a while. It's been crazy. So, yep. Chapter 16 is up next. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.